All right. Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to be here with all of you today for our weekly Facebook Live stream training. And got lots of great stuff to share with you today. Really, what we're going to focus on today I'm going to talk to you about what I see as the 5 most common entrepreneurial blunders. Very, very common that even the most well-intentioned practitioners tend to make without even really knowing it. So we're going to talk through those. And of course, I'm going to share what to do instead so that you can put an end to these blunders and really build a strong foundation for your business. So again, I want to welcome you, welcome practice builders. Um, Welcome to those of you that are listening live, as well as those of you who are catching me on the replay. So listen, before we jump in, talk to me. Let me know, where are you from? I love to know, just even what city and state you're from. Go ahead and drop me a little comment and just give me the city and state where you're residing. All right. So, okay. So let's talk about those 5 most common entrepreneurial blunders and specifically what you're going to learn from today's training. So you are going to learn first how nailing your marketing message will pave the way for your ongoing business success. 2, why delegating, yes, you heard me right, delegating, why that will set you free and should be an integral component of your business plan. And number 3, why specificity matters when it comes to setting powerful business goals. All right, so that is what you're going to learn today. Lesli Bitel here. Want to just take a quick moment to say hello and introduce myself for those of you that may not know me. So again, welcome, practice builders. My name is Lesli Bitel, and I'm a business strategist and coach for dietitians and integrative and functional health care practitioners. So in a nutshell, in my work, I help health providers, specifically in private practice, to overcome all that confusion, that sense of overwhelm that is all too common when it comes to the business side of building a thriving and profitable practice. So basically, I help you to really simplify the process of the business building aspect so that you can build a thriving practice and really enabling you to serve the people that you really enjoy working with, right? Attract more perfect clients. I help my clients to create and sell higher end programs and packages. So all the steps involved in that. And I also help many, many of my clients to scale their businesses, right? In other words, to create online courses, group programs, and to be able to scale. So that's a little bit about me. Again, I'd love to learn more about you. Just drop me a line in the comment. Let me know your name, where you're from, and I'd also love to know what your area of specialization is. All right. All right. So how about if we go ahead and dive in? Because I got lots of great stuff to share with you guys today. All right, so let's jump in by having a conversation about those 5 most common entrepreneurial blunders and what to do instead. All right, so of course, I always share the what to do instead. So the first one that I see is really, I guess, hoping to get rich in a hurry. All right, so let's talk about this for a moment. So the reality is, most overnight successes actually behind the scenes take years to get there. All right. Those super, super amazing brands that you see out there. Honestly, if you open the hood and really kind of look at their history, none of them are overnight successes. So it's really not a lottery you're playing. It's a long-term business strategy. Okay. And that's really the point that I want to drive home. So if you're thinking that, starting a business is going to like pull you out of debt immediately or pay the rent next week, honestly, we need to kind of reset that mindset, right? So what you need to know is that building a strong business, it actually takes time, right? Now, can you do amazing in a short time? Absolutely. And my clients can certainly attest to that. But what I want you to remember is that we need to lay a strong foundation, right? And doing that is really the cornerstone. It's going to take a little bit of time, uh, definitely perseverance and tenacity, and certainly a little bit of luck as well. So, bottom line here is you want to give yourself the time and the space to let your business grow, right? So, the first one is really kind of more of a mindset. All right, so let's keep going. The second blunder, so to speak, is coming out of the gate with mixed marketing messages. And guys, this one is huge. I see this all the time. In fact, honestly, what I see most often is maybe not even a mixed marketing message, but like no marketing message, right? A real lack of positioning, a lack of understanding in terms of, well, certainly who it is you serve, and then specifically, what are the problems from your client's perspective that you help solve? And what are the transformations that you help your clients to achieve, right? Those three pieces are truly the basic building blocks of creating a powerful and sticky message. So, so really, either having a mixed marketing message or really not having any clarity at all around your marketing message is the big blunder here. All right. So here's the deal, guys. If you don't have a clear and consistent message at every single touch point with your audience, they are going to get confused. They are going to lose interest really, really quickly, because they don't really know who you are. They don't really get what you offer. And they certainly cannot wrap their minds around what it is you offer. So, and because first impressions are formed literally within seconds, um, this is really not good. So, this is something that you can actually fix this today, in all honesty. If you were to say, you know what, okay, Leslie, this is something that I recognize that is greatly lacking in my business, you could literally sit down and hammer this out today. So we're going to talk a little bit more about next steps towards the end after I get through these 5 blunders. But just note that this is a pretty easy fix, but you do need to sit down and hammer it out. Okay. And the other thing that I want to point out, in addition to first impressions being so critical, if your market, let's say your ideal client lands on your website and they're like, gosh, I can't really tell, am I in the right place? Is this person for me? That's a big problem, because nowadays you've got about 2, 3 seconds max before that person just gets frustrated and moves on and you've lost them. So you really want to attract them, grab their attention immediately on that website, on all of your marketing materials, so they are crystal clear right out of the gate what it is you do, who you help, what are the problems you solve, and what are the transformations you help people to achieve. Here's the other thing. A confused mind does not buy. It's just a fact, because we're so bombarded with messaging these days. It's just, if someone has to work really hard to try to figure you out, they're just gone, right? Like you've lost them. So you want to really help your client along by making it easy for them, make it super easy for them to understand what you're all about, who you serve, and really whether or not you're a good fit for what they need. So you want to make sure at every opportunity that a new prospect sees your business, when they see it for the first time, that they are receiving a coherent and succinct message, so that there's a lot of clarity, right? They look at your stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, this is for me. Or maybe they look at it and say, nope, this is not what I'm looking for. And guys, guess what? That's okay too, because you cannot be everything to everyone. So even if your messaging repels some people, I would say that's a win. Seriously, it means you've taken a stand, you've put a stake in the ground and declared who you are and what you're all about. And that's a good thing. All right. All right. So let's keep moving. So the next blunder that I see, and guys, this is super common, is literally trying to do it all. All right. So trying to do it all inside of your business. I would say this is one of the greatest mistakes that entrepreneurs make. They have this mindset that they can do everything by themselves. Okay. And guess what? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. Maybe, you can try to do all these things. But the question is, should you just because you can? I would say the answer is no, right? Um, you need to, when you're first starting, being like a Jack or a Jill of all trades can give you a little bit of a feeling of a head start. But here's the deal: you cannot maintain that strategy of doing everything in your business over the long haul. It just doesn't work over the long haul. So what you're going to need to do is to identify what you're great at and do those things to the fullest. So basically, in this category, you're eventually going to want to identify things in your business that only you can do, the things that you really are good at. And eventually, and I would say especially those revenue generating activities that perhaps only you can do, like those are super high priority. And those tasks really should be, a few of those things at least every day should be on your calendar, right? Those revenue generating activities that only you can do. Honestly, what I would recommend here is that you look to surround yourself with people who are strong in areas where you are not. All right. And because what we want to bring people onto your team eventually that can complement your skill sets and really help you to create synergy inside of the business. All right. All right. Next. All right. So far we have talked about the first three, which is, um, uh, hoping to get rich in a hurry, kind of like a get rich fast sort of mentality, mixed marketing messages, unrealistic or vague. Oops, actually, I didn't talk about that one. Ha, I got out of order here. Trying to do it all is the third one that we talked about, trying to do it all. Now, the fourth one is unrealistic, setting unrealistic or kind of vague goals inside of your business. So this is super important. You guys all, as practitioners, I'm guessing, help your own clients for the most part. Maybe some of you don't do this anymore. Maybe this is something you delegate in your business. But for the most part, when it comes to behavior change, I'm guessing there's some goal setting involved with your clients, right? Most likely. So here's the deal. When it comes to running your business, the same is true. And the more specificity that we can have to goal setting inside of that business, the more successful you're going to be. It's pretty straightforward. So much like, wanting to get rich quick, many entrepreneurs go into a new business really without much planning and their eye on like astronomical growth, right? So unrealistic goals not only kind of hurt your credibility, but really can drain you from an emotional standpoint. So really what I'm recommending here is to remember that SMART goal acronym, right? Is really to set very specific, measurable, accountable, and realistic time specific goals for yourself. And to ensure doing so is really going to help to ensure steady progress, and your chances of being in business for the long term, really for the long haul, are going to increase exponentially. And guys, here's a little hint. You can't do everything at once. You just can't, right? It's impossible. So you really want to try to set goals that I would say, really focused on generating revenue. Like those should be the priority. Because what I see a lot of times is what I call hiding behind the computer. And I know because I used to do this myself. So, I would kind of fool myself by, doing all kinds of busy work on my computer and thinking that this was going to help my business. Well, newsflash, honestly, not so much, right? So really what I want you to think about are what are the tasks inside of that business that provide an immediate path to generating revenue. Okay. Those are the things that you really should be focused on. And then, of course, there's some things inside of your business that are more of a longer term strategy. And of course, we're not all about short term making revenue. We want to have a nice mix of goals, right? Short term, medium term, and long term strategies to help you get to where you want to go. But the key here is that you are very clear. You're very clear. How many of you actually set goals in your business? I'd love to hear from you. If you're someone that does set goals, give me a thumbs up in that chat. I'd love to hear. I'd also really love to hear from you if you can provide a little detail, right? Like, how do you go about, like, what are the different parameters you're using to set your goals? Maybe share with me how often you set goals. Is this something you do annually, quarterly? Everyone does it a little differently. So give me a comment or two in the chat and just let me know how you go about it. All right, so now we are to the fifth entrepreneurial blunder. All right, so the fifth one is what I call forsaking all. All right, so many entrepreneurs really tend to put their personal lives on hold to focus exclusively on their business. And I get that, I really get it. And frankly, I can be guilty of that myself. I really have to try to rein myself in there. But I do want to be clear, if you are doing this, if you're just 100%, solely focused on your business and kind of like putting your personal goals on the back burner, ultimately both will suffer. All right. So, if you're a 20, single 20 something age group, you may actually have more time to devote exclusively for your business for now, right? But honestly, if you're, 40 something, if you're a parent, if you're in a relationship, honestly, you may need to pace yourself a little bit more. And the thing I want you to remember here is you're in it for the long haul. All right. So I think the key here is balance. And I know you probably talk to your own clients about balance. So it's kind of ironic that from a business coaching standpoint, I'm urging you to strike a balance in your personal life and business life, but I really am. So it's important to attempt to absolutely, work hard. But in my thought process, the best way to accomplish this is to have boundaries, right? Really nice boundaries. Be accountable to yourself. Have a workflow. Have, work hours and personal time hours. And as best as you can, try to stick with that, right? So I really feel like, honestly, a lack of structure in one's workday is really the enemy, right? And honestly, I do see that. That could be a whole nother Facebook Live training that I do. But really, you want to be a good boss to yourself. You want to create structure that you can stick to. All right. So I really want to remind you that you're in this for the long haul. So I want you to think like a marathon runner versus a sprinter, right? Of course, you want to take care of yourself, eat right, get enough rest. And you also do want to try to spend, quality time with others, your family, and making sure that you're not working yourself to death in order to achieve your dream business. All right. Okay, so those are my 5 entrepreneurial blunders and what to do instead. So now what I want to talk to you about just briefly is what's some next steps that you can take in order to actually implement, like what is the next step based on the training that you got today. So basically what I'm recommending is that you pick one area that I've talked about that you want to improve. All right. So let me repeat those for those of you that may have joined me late. I'll just repeat these really quick. So the first one is, it has to do with mindset and giving yourself space and time to create a strong foundation for your business, right? We're not in it for a get rich fast scheme, right? It's going to take some time. So we want to give ourselves the permission to really do what needs to be done to ensure your success over the long haul. Number 2, is mixed marketing messaging. All right. So if this is you, honestly, if this is you, I would focus in. I would really hone in on this because I think you can fix this relatively quickly if you put a little time into it. But in a nutshell, you got to have a clear and consistent message. Otherwise, your target market is not going to get who you help, what you do, and if you're a good fit for them. All right. So number two is having a mixed marketing message. Number three, blunder, is setting unrealistic or vague goals. So you want to be really specific and you honestly want to be realistic, right? You want to have a plan. How often are you going to set goals? How often are you going to review these goals, right? Are you going to do it quarterly and then review your progress each week? That's what I want you to figure out. The next one, number four, is trying to do it all, right? So the key word here is identifying areas in your practice that you can delegate. Because over the long haul, it's not going to serve you. You might be able to do it all, but that doesn't mean you should be doing it all. Okay. So I really want you to think about, what are some tasks and things that I can look to move off of my plate. Maybe look at things that you don't enjoy doing, maybe things that you're not that great at. Hang on to the things, that you're really enjoying and are very good at. And of course, hang on to the things that only you can do inside of the business. And then the fifth thing is what I call forsaking all, right? So basically, what I'm talking about is you want to have balance, right? You don't want to put your entire personal life on hold while you're trying to build the business, because in the long run, both will suffer. So, next steps. My recommendation is, instead of overwhelming yourself with like the big picture, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all of these 5 things? What I recommend is that you just pick one area. Actually, let me know in the chat, what's the one area that I talked about that you think you could focus on for improvement? What's the one area? Just one, just pick one. That's all I'm asking for today. And then and just ask yourself, what's the next step in helping moving this one thing forward, right? So let me give you a quick example. Let's say you decide it's messaging that needs your immediate attention. So what I recommend is that you start this process by addressing these 3 things. Number 1, who? Right? Your messaging is really comprised of 3 things. Who is it that you're targeting, right? Who is it? Number 2, what are their challenges from their perspective that you can help solve? And number 3, what are some of the transformations and results that you can help these people to achieve? Those 3 things really comprise your message. Okay, so if you can, like if you thought, oh my gosh, messaging is really where I need help, then that would be an example of how you could get yourself started. All right. So, all right, guys. So that's what I have for you today. Also, one more quick thing. In my practice, my business coaching, mentoring practice, I am taking only 2 more clients for the remainder of this year, right? 2 more people for 2020. And I'll tell you who I'm looking for. I'm looking for practitioners that are super motivated and really wanting to make a difference, really willing to do the work to build a highly successful practice, but maybe you're confused about what steps need to happen in which particular order to make that dream a reality. And if that is you, if that really speaks to you, then I would recommend that you reach out. Just drop me a quick email at leslie@lesliebitel.com and let's set up a time to chat. All right. So I'm actually going to, let's see, here's my email address. There we go. So drop me a line if this speaks to you, if you're like, you know what, either you've been trying to do it alone, which honestly, I tried to do it alone myself for a long time, right? So I get that. The reality is you're trying to do it alone is really, really, really challenging, if not impossible. I mean, if you really want to be successful, right? it's kind of like, to use the analogy, it's kind of like your clients. Would your clients be able to do it alone? Probably not. It's kind of the same thing, right? So if you're in a place where you're just kind of sick and tired of trying to figure it out, you're overwhelmed, you don't really know what, maybe you're someone that's been listening to a lot of free content. I used to do that too. Like, you know, grab all kinds of free PDFs, collect them, read them, listen to podcasts, do all kinds of free trainings, but it leaves you feeling more overwhelmed than when you started. We need to talk. All right. So drop me an email and just let me know that you're interested in chatting about one of my two spots that I have open for the remainder of the year. And we will set up a time to talk. All right. All right, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week, a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, I have a guest. All right. I have a guest. Actually, one of my clients is going to join, and we're going to share a strategy that is working awesome for her. And just a little hint, she has an insurance-based practice in Nashville. So you're not going to want to miss it. So next week, same place, same time. I'll see you then. Bye for now.